The Razer Viper Mini has been one of the greatest mice out there, not just because of the price, the performance, but also the shape. It has become one of the most iconic shapes out there, but sadly, Razer didn't do any updated version of the mouse. So instead of buying another mouse, I modded my Razer Viper Mini to fit the modern shape and style. The Viper Mini is known for its small shape and having a rear hump, which makes it a dream mouse for fingertip and claw creepers. But even for retrying with this mouse twice, I still can't use it due to the front flare being too aggressive. Especially after maining the OP18K, the Viper Mini just felt too weird. I got tired with the weight of the mouse. It doesn't feel like a small mouse with a weight of more or less 60 grams, which is the same weight as the G Pro X Superlight. So I did mods to make it better and fit my style more. I will give you some warnings for this next few images, and I might even recommend applying holy water. Even after cutting the mouse in half, the front flare is still not for me. So I turned to 3D printed shells. This was the first shell I have seen and was only available at the time. It was a really nice shell. It had narrow sides and flat sides, but the issue is the click buttons are too stiff and too frail, which makes the clicking really hard. Then there's the Featherlight, created by Nami BD. At the time their V2 was only available and it was not it. The shell is too long and too flexible due to lack of supports. It does have a reverse click button, but it is also too long, which produces that delay and more mushy button clicking. Then, not so long ago, they released a more rigid and shorter shell. They added more support and bars that run through across the shell to make it less flexible. To install the shell, you must remove the side buttons, the PI button, and also the LED lights if you don't want to be blinded by it since it would be exposed. But the only bad thing here is, how would I install the JST connector since you will need this? So instead of clipping the bar, which can potentially make the whole shell flexible, so I removed the connector plastic thing and just rodok it with only the wire connected. Now let's talk about the shape. The sides have these honeycomb designs to reduce the weight much more. The click button has a low and the same height as everything else. The best thing about this is the weight. Weighing this without the grips and the wire weighs only 18 grams, which is really light. Compared to other shell iterations, this is by far the lightest of them all. What's even crazier is this is lighter than Optimum's Zeromouse blade, which cost $179. And to reduce the weight much farther, I suggest to print the shell with ABS material to reduce weight around 3 or 4 grams. Now let's talk about the performance in-game. Playing this with games like CS2 made it really easy to flick, but the microcontrol and sudden stop gives me a bit of over-flicking. But I guess I just need more time to play for me to adapt to it. But playing this with faster paced games like Overwatch, it felt natural to my hands. Tracking with this feels really smooth. The microcontrol for each correction became easier. It was, I think, the best fingertip mouse I have ever used. The exposed power cord makes the mouse easier to glide since the power cord became lighter. But I would like to change it to a much thinner wire to reduce the weight even more. Overall, it's a really nice mod. If you have a Viper Mini lying around eating dust, I would recommend you to do this mod, especially if you want to try new shapes. So that would be all. I'll be seeing you on to the next one.